Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Doug.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good, man. How, are you
That's
ready to
great.
podcast?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah. I, it's time we talk about something that's been at, at,
Sorry?
at, at heavy on our hearts as a nation and as a people.
Yeah. I'm listening.
And you know what it is?
Uh, on my part, there's several. So,
Anyway, let's start with
what do you have?
let's start with the one which is putting a dim light on our hearts, Lord shedding.
Lord shit. Yeah. The one that just makes your entire heart darken with sadness.
Exactly. And you heard like on the 1st of October, the sun increasing the tariffs by 200%.
Yeah. Which is a, it's, which is a no-brainer. Like, why, even if they increase, it's not like they provide they supply any power to the people.
That's the thing. Because they said like the reason why they're increasing the tariffs by 200% is they want to be buying from things. They'll be importing electricity from ESCOM.
Yeah.
Which at first when the first press release came out, they said that it will
And
reduce.
ESCOM themselves buy power as well.
Yeah, and also experience load shedding as well. And you're borrowing sugar from someone who doesn't have sugar. Who also borrows from
Yeah, who also borrows from you as well from time
yeah.
to time. It's funny.
Then and also export that as well, power as well.
So I don't know what game these guys are trying to play, but that's angering people. Like
Yeah.
there is no way. We all know that energy is very important for a productive nation. For a nation that's growing, we really, really need energy because that will hinder a lot of businesses from being productive, small and big. And to make matters worse, fuel prices just went up recently. So if people who resort to generators,
Yeah.
then that means the expense will even be higher on power.
That's a thing. Then again, they don't even put like subsidize solar, just clean renewable energy. They don't subsidize that. Even if you're you want to start a business.
Yeah. Which is the best, and because the thing is, among all the sources of power, like ways to create power, right?
Yeah.
Solar energy is the most affordable.
Exactly.
Because the sun is free.
And let's say in our part of the world, it's sunny all year round. Even if
yes, but they say the most efficient is solar, nuclear. Because you only a little goes a long way for nuclear. But the hazardous fact about it, like, first of all, the waste product, it just can't be, it can't turn into smoke. You have to get rid of that nuclear energy, which will be an expense as well to pay a company that. And already in Zambia, yes, we do have uranium in abundance from all it's because it's a byproduct of copper, right? But where are we going to be throwing away the nuclear waste? That's another question. Which will even add much more, which will skyrocket the price of power because it will be the people who have to pay for that as well.
The easiest
one
just
solar is in my opinion
the most easy and logical one if I have to think about. Because let's say
hello.
Yeah, I just experience some load shedding.
I see what you did there. Anyway.
Yeah, you were saying that nuclear is more efficient, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like if I had to put it like here, it would be more cost effective setting up a nuclear plant.
It will much more
than you subsidizing just solar panels running.
Yeah, and I think in the long run it's much more costly, both financially and environmental health wise, because as you can, in America, like I saw a documentary some time back of a nuclear power plant. Then the nuclear power plant itself, it was located in a desert because usually they are situated away from people. So that means if there's animals that live there, nature has to be disturbed. One, because they can't locate it near people. Because if calamity befalls, we all know what will happen. There will be radiation poisoning and everything. So, with all that into consideration, whether like in America, since we do, apparently here in Zambia we do not have deserts, but in the US there is one. The documentary saw
But
the nuclear power
we're
plant.
about to have some in 10 years' time. With the
Yeah, it's possible.
No, with the way people are chopping down trees, some parts like where Western Province, some parts where it used to be like huge lush forests are now semi. What's the thing? What's that term? Semi deserts.
Arid land.
Yeah, they're becoming deserts.
No.
The more people chop them down, the more once they cut them down to the roots.
That's the thing. Like for every tree that is chopped, there should be 5 that should be grown. That should be like we need to instill that in ourselves and the next generation. Because where are we going to go? This is a global thing. Like in as much as other countries do not spearhead that, but we can you know like anyway. Let me just finish like about the nuclear power plant, right? Like whether they actually store nuclear waste underground. They built tunnels where tons and tons of nuclear waste is stored. And the thing is, they were asking a question like, we have so many nuclear power stations. Why are we still depending on such kind of environmentally toxic method of producing electricity? So it would be very costly to create an environment which is suitable for a nuclear power plant. One, it's actually better to invest in tons and tons of solar panels and just depend on, because Zambia produces power through hydro electricity, right? We have how many large rivers do we have? We have several large rivers, so we depend on the nuclear power. Hydro power plants. We can be using that in the night. Then during day we can be using solar, because about more than 75% of our days here in Zambia throughout the entire year we do see the sun. Because even in winter it's sunny. Actually, in winter it's hot here.
Yeah.
So it's only in the rainy season that don't see much of the sun.
Even then it's too sunny.
But
only for a few rainy days. And with the
we do see the sun.
Yeah. That requires sunny day. Don't require sunlight. Those what's that? The new solar panels, the darker tint.
Sorry, I can't get you. You're breaking up.
I'm saying those new solar panels, they don't even require a lot of sunlight. They just require daylight, but they don't require a lot of heat.
Yeah, it's not heat, but the sun. Yeah, true that.
What's the name of those? What's that? The darker tint.
Actually, they perform better in cold temperatures. So if you have to take it at a very high altitude, where it's really cold, but there's sunshine, it will perform at its maximum, at its optimum best.
Yeah, like what's that place? Those Nikela side, or those plateau areas.
Oh yeah. And how many we like from even not even going far, like we've seen these pylons that carry power from one city to another, right? Because that land strictly forbidden for any construction to take place. They actually cut down trees as well from underneath. We can use that as a place where we can have solar panels.
Oh yeah.
Instead of trying to purchase land from somewhere, relocating people, if maybe blah blah. But we can use the very land that has been occupied by pylons and line it up with solar panels. It's funny. Yeah. One would be one. I don't know why we are not doing anything.
You know the thing, once someone, let's say like recently when the open of parliament,
Hmm.
uh, the head of state was saying something like global warming or climate change is affecting our economy, right? But
Yeah.
they don't put steps in place to combat that. They just say global warming is doing that A, B, C, and D.
Mm. Yeah,
Then they
true.
just sit back and say that's it. Then
Like
if hmm?
all we do, like I like what Elon Musk did. Like the problem was foretold. The problem had been sung about for many years because 50 years ago they knew that the world is changing in terms of being polluted, right? 50 years ago, everyone knew, almost everyone knew because they got wind of what was happening. But no one was doing anything. Even Elon Musk was saying, in as much as the government would say we're going to put in measures, they have been saying that since he was a kid, but nothing was being done. Then he decided, fine, I'll do it myself. And at least he spearheaded.
like Elon Musk is from the future. Which time is he talking about?
Well, okay, I know we all think he's not human, or maybe he's just a human from the future, but
But
uh,
he does look kind of non-human if you look at him closely. Like
mm, that's what I say. Like, if one man can have such a strong conviction over changing, um, over combating climate change, what, as a nation, like, why can't we do the same? Anyway, it's all politics. Those greedy bastards, anyway, because they would rather have their money go into their pocket than spend it on something that will combat climate change. In fact,
they might launch a
eh,
project, quite right. If they want to do launch a
but it will,
project,
yeah,
half of the money will go miss.
and the money is done. But they allocated $50 million for that. Like, how, do money was done, and you haven't really. There's nothing you've done to show up, like for the money that was spent. And
You know that
funny, like
they'll buy it at 10 solar panels and put them up at for $1 million each. Like
a
nah,
tree, plant 50 trees for $1 million. Like, what is? Do this grow? Is this the forbidden tree? So come on, what are you trying to plant here? Like, it's it's funny. Like I saw an ad on TV once for a man, like an Indian man, who started planting trees 35 years ago.
I
He's
think
grown a
I've seen that
forest.
ad. I've seen that ad as well.
Yeah, like he's literally grown a forest. One man. So for me, I don't believe that the rubbish the government tries to sell us.
And,
No, there's no
and then
money.
it's settled. Tomorrow we start planting.
Tomorrow. But like we can really, really, really start a movement. Like, why can't we start a movement? Plant trees. We can be, and educate people about the importance of trees. Because many other times, or like, I remember there was a period when your old place, right? They say chopping down trees for unknown reasons, like for reasons unknown. They say chopping them down.
Let me sell them, obviously.
They wanted to sell them.
Sell the things, the trees and the wood.
They like use them for firewood.
Yeah, obviously.
But the thing is, like, why chop down a healthy big tree? Like, that one still puzzles me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a chain reaction, right? In as much as okay, we say like in some areas they need the firewood to create to for fuel to cook, warm water, and other funny
What do
stuff.
you mean some places? Just
Some use it for cultivation.
what do you mean you move some places? Now, go and go and see. You mean,
Sorry,
what do you mean some places? At every place. Using a Marash.
I can't get you. You're breaking up.
I'm saying that what do you mean in some places? I'm saying at Nakwan go and say.
Yeah.
Don't even about China, guy. That's the thing, guy. That's just more like a reaction or a result of there being no power. So people are forced to use odd means
Mm-hmm.
to try and to live. So let's say if
Yeah,
you
like
had to like more like subsidize some things, like even solar panels, or just introduce new renewable measures.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a company somewhere that is willing to supply thousands of solar panels at slow pay.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's Elon Musk. Can't you come back to South Africa? I want to pay you a visit.
Even Chan.
Let's talk about Solar City.
As a Zambian. Yeah. I think it's strong again.
Yeah, we're going to get old experiencing that. Yeah, as I was saying, like it's really terrible the way things are being done, because I feel like action was supposed to be years ago, but we're still in the same place. Looking at a country like Zambia, looking at our natural resources, 60% of all freshwater bodies in Southern Africa are found in Zambia. Can you imagine? 60%. Ouch, the cat is scratching me.
It knows what you are.
And it knows the rat when it sees one. So anyway, that's the thing. Like, there's no way you can be buying power from a country that has less rivers than you, like South Africa. Actually, which is the largest river in Southern Africa? Zambezi River, right?
Yeah.
We have the largest river in Southern Africa. Then you're going to buy power from guys who don't even have what? It's funny. It's funny. Like, looking at our physical features, people should be buying power from Zambia.
Which they do.
Yeah, apparently we do sell power, but apparently we're buying power for it. Like, it's
a mismanagement of China. That's just boils down to mismanagement of China resources.
Yeah, it's mismanagement of resources.
Because even during times of elections, we hear about stories of where, like, government officials tell the managing director of ZESCO to move funds for campaign.
Yeah.
So actually we're investing in China. There's no. It's not even in China. The energy sector is, let's say, even electricity. It's only one company to provide electricity. So it's a monopoly. So in a sense, like, the whole of the cards. So if you had to combat load shedding, always had to start your own company to be more, for them to be competitive enough to invest in that business. You can invest that with time. Even the example of Airtel or these mobile networks, right? If Airtel was the only one, the internet services, even the phone services would have been very shine.
I think that also contributes. You know what? Can't one just start a thing? And just bring out solar panels.
There's also the amount of shine. The amount of red tape you have to shine. But it's possible, yes. You can start your own company. And that's the thing.
Yeah. I think on that part, like, supplying power using the old-fashioned way would be very, very costly, because you have to mount poles and other funny stuff. You have to buy cables that run millions of miles.
But for that, yes, that's impossible. It's not impossible. It's possible, but it won't be efficient if you just had a solar company, right?
Yeah.
Can use that. Can always learn from other companies. Like, what's that? The Elon Musk company, the Solar City, right?
Solar City.
Where, like, they provide solar panels, then you pay them off. Then the excess power is sold back to the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way more like killing two birds with one stone.
Because because the very fact that we only have one company that provides power to the residents of Zambia, I think they are more they are comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't do things like no one puts them under pressure. They have no competition whatsoever. You know, that kind of thing, like it's that kind of thing, like that high school thing. There's a girl you like, you've got a crush on a girl, but you're waiting for the right time to make the right move. Then all of a sudden you see her talking to another guy. Then it prompts you to make the move right now. Yep. So, like, I feel like ZESCO should be hit with something like a better way of providing it. Like, if say for instance, I just got money and bought solar panels in, supplied to each and every household, then I'm getting a fee by the end of the month. I'm coming to maintain and everything. Then they would wait because it would cost me less to supply power. In fact, maybe even more power because solar panels, when they are like modern day solar panels, when they reach their optimum capacity or output, they actually provide far much more power than so they provide far much more power on a small area compared to hydroelectric power.
Yeah, and also disadvantages of hydroelectric power. It also damages the environment because
yes, true.
Because
yeah,
in southern province is based on drought because of there's no water flow because of the dam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much more eco-friendly to have a solar stations than a hydropower, and it's much more.
Yeah, in as much as hydro, I think very fact like there's something worse than hydropower, so it looks like it's a good guy, but actually, even when they were building Lake Kariba, right?
Yeah.
That was pre-independence days when Zambia was still colonized. They're like it was a huge undertaking to the point that it financially strained Zambia because animals had to be displaced. There were a lot of some animals were displaced, some villages were displaced. They had to borrow a huge chunk of land to create space, like to create enough room for a dam that can hold a certain amount of water. So they had to do all that. So that excavation did cost money. And after that, they found out that they underestimated how much water would be held. So there were islands that were created on Lake Kariba. And as time went on, they discovered that on those islands, there is actually wildlife. So they had to start relocating the animals again. If you see the documentary where they were building,
I've seen the documentary.
Yeah, it was really terrible. Like, it was very expensive. Even then, they spent like millions of dollars, and that's way back. Hundreds of millions of dollars just for that. So it's not really cost. Now imagine if you get the same amount and just buy solar panels and install them. How much more? We should start reevaluating our decisions. We can't be doing the same thing over and over again, because I am sure by this time everyone knows that building a dam costs billions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
So why not just use that same money, buy solar panels, and find a way of supplying power to the people?
That's the thing. Decisions are making. Once people are like accustomed to a certain way of doing things and a certain way of getting money, people are reluctant to move. Because once you're in power and you're not affected by what's going on, you'll be like, everything is good. We just hike the prices.
Yeah, because you can afford them, and that's where the problem is.
Which most of the time they get it for free. If you live in a Chad, if you live, let's say you're in the political office, right? You should get power for free, but you don't even pay for the power. It's more like Chad, given to you the what you call this, more like the benefits of being in power.
The perks, yeah. So the perks of being in power. That's why it's funny. Like if you're touched to the people you are leading, how can you know their problems? How can you know where they want to be directed? Because the thing is, you have to sit down. Both parties have to look at what the people. I like the way, in as much as some people would disagree with me, but an example of a good democracy is the United States, where the entire nation's power does not lie in one man's hands. That part, I give them a thumbs up. The Americans really did their homework. Because if, say for instance, like in Zambia, the president can decide almost anything and get away with it. He can give an order: do not hike the prices for electricity. I remember last time he actually said that. Let's not even beat about the bush. You remember, right?
Mm.
Yeah, they actually mentioned that they're going to hike up by 75%, then to 300%. Then the president was like, "You can't hike 300%. That's too high." It's like then they sat down, spoke, and so you see like how much power one man holds.
Yeah.
That's what the disadvantage is.
It's not the same that side if you think about it. Like, with those the tariffs that he imposed on China, which is causing a trade war between China and America. So the same thing.
Yeah, true. Okay.
You can't just go to I know like he has to like this country if he has to go to wage war on another country, he has to pass through Congress. Congress has to allow it.
That's what I mean. Like here in Zambia, it doesn't pass through any.
The same as well here.
Who would vote? Who votes against the president? When he made that decision, did they run it through parliament? Nothing. It was just something that he said. Like and it's funny. Like one man has got so much power, and the problem is that they don't use it effectively for the benefit of the people.
He always misdirected.
So it's sad. I really. Anyway, as time goes on, don't worry. We will be the ones to create a difference. We will be the ones to create the change.
Your time is now.
The time is now. They won't see us.
Yeah.
So it's how can an entire nation, be operating without power for 8 hours straight? That's just unacceptable.
By the way, has the timetable changed?
No, it's still in the night. But it's just been elongated from 01 to 8 hours. Oh. So we're getting the other time, like some 2 weeks ago, about a week ago, we got like 4 days straight. Power was going like for 2 hours during the day. Like it went from 12 to 14, 12 to 14. Yeah. Then they stopped.
Yeah, that timetable is better. Like for us,
yeah.
It goes in the morning around 6, comes back around 14 if that's early, or comes back around 16, 17, which is fair because I think in the afternoon you can do other stuff. You can charge your phone using the solar panels if you want.
Yeah.
Solar charge. The waste
of that in as much as it looks like for us here, it looks good, right? But what if I'm going for work in a place that's affected? That's where the problem comes in.
For you guys to even like some people's going for like time. I was just that was in Kablong. The timetable has changed. You used to go the same like your timetable is from 24 to 08. Now it goes from like 08 to 22. Comes back around 04 or 03 sometimes. Some other places. So you should compare. You guys are living at a good life.
Yeah.
You know it's iron before going to bed.
Yeah, true. You can always like there are those vital things that you can cook over a gas stove.
And like where power goes at 01, comes back at 22.
I like the issue of gas stove, right? Now people will be going to buy gas, like to be filling because it's almost the same guys who supply fuel that is supplying that natural gas, right? Ever heard of some product called home biogas?
I think I've seen it posted by Kablonga girls, like across from Kablonga girls.
No, not that one, not the Zambia one. I've seen that oil that they sell, right?
No, not. It's more like they use compost. They build it more like a huge dome-like structure.
Oh yeah, It's now available in Zambia, right?
Yeah, I've been here for a while.
Yeah. I saw it like 2 years ago. They launched a crowdfunding campaign. I was actually impressed. That's one of like in as much as yes, people create these funny technological gadgets. They really create like they really.
Hold on, which one are you talking about? What's like which one are you talking about? Explain what you're talking about.
Like it's more like a tent kind of thing, right? But it's a plastic tent, and the plastic they use is 100% recyclable. What you do is instead of throwing waste, you get the biodegradable waste that you have, throw it in the home biogas. Then I don't know how the whole entire thing goes. I don't know if you add bacteria or just natural bacteria starts breaking down the thing and starts creating methane gas.
Methane gas rises.
Yeah. Then you collect that methane gas. That's what you use to cook.
No.
And an average home produces enough gas to sustain itself. It's like you.
What was the thing? The tent was one which was being confounded.
The tent is the one what?
What was the confound about? The material of the tent are making.
Yeah, the tent. Like, let's create. I remember when I saw their video, they were like, "No, we've been working for years over this. We were researching the materials, so we found that this is the best. So we need money to start production, because way back the way things would happen, you would have to have millions of dollars in order to start manufacturing that. But nowadays, you just partner with a company that can manufacture that already. Then, so yeah,
the tent was made of some unique material.
Yeah, 100% recyclable. It's really affordable.
What happens? Just place it on the ground, then you start throwing in the
Yeah. All you do is mount it. It comes with a container, a hard case container kind of thing at the bottom that enables so that the garbage should not be like if it's in a plastic thing it will bulge, right? Yeah. So it comes with something with a hard structure. So when you throw that, as time goes on, it starts decomposing, then methane gas collects. Then all you do is like open a tap, or you can, it comes, I think it came with a pump. It comes with a pump. So it can pump gas into a container, a cylinder that you can use to store, then attach to your gas stove. And use it in your house. Yeah, so that was like the advantage.
Company, the one which is across Cabrera Girls. More like you just dig a hole in the ground. It's more like a building, more like a pool kind of, more like where you dig a hole, then a well in a sense.
Yeah.
Here you play the wall, then you build more like above ground, more like you seal it up with more like a dome.
No, okay. Yeah. I remember that method. I think you had shown it to me once.
Yeah.
Like I actually looked it up, did some research as well. Now, it's the same principle. Now, just
they don't really
portable.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That one is portable.
Yeah, that one is just portable. Like everything is in one. All you have to do is just buy the thing and mount it, and it doesn't even cost a lot of money. So
I saw a documentary once about pig farming, like the amount of methane pigs produce. Like some areas, don't know what the place was like. It was like so. It was like more like polluting the air so bad. Like the bed sheets, like once the bed sheet, even the windows would change color. Like it was more like more like, in the evening, like that tint, like on the windows, it changed the colors of the windows. The smell was horrible. You can smell it from miles away. Like there were pools and pools of sand. Like there was a huge pool of waste of feces of
pig.
lake,
pig waste.
more like a lake of feces of pigs. I was wondering, like, why don't you just harness that next time and just fill it up and use the methane from there and just leave it open?
Yeah, I think we have to learn. I feel like people.
That was some farm in the States.
I think these things that we usually see on TV, sometimes like people have that notion of if you see something on TV, it's far-fetched, right? But these are actually things you can do if we can incorporate this, like being taught in school. These are things anyone can do. Like if you get concerning the same thing, right? Like we need to start adding value to the things we think have no value, such as waste, household waste, right? if we can separate our plastics, they do that. I'm sure maybe some listeners will say, oh, but it's already been done. But like in Zambia, hardly anyone does that. Only a few select companies. But if they had to pass a law where they can say, separate everything, put the biodegradable stuff in one, your papers, your plastics, your glasses, and any other funny thing in another, that can be very, very helpful.
The recycling plants usually just they don't fit in China. Like what few recycling plants? Only now that I've seen like a few pop up. Otherwise, like you just go to China, huge dump site.
The Chunga dumping site. And last time I passed through, like it's really, it's a mountain. Like literally, it's a mountain. And I wonder how many years is it going to take for that thing for that land to be leveled, one, and where is all the plastic going to go? And that's the thing. Like we need to find use for the waste that we have, so that we can be 100%. We are not going to eat on land. We're not going to pollute. We're not going to. In Japan, like even way back in the 80s, they actually it's a great model. Japan is a great model to look at in terms of how they manage their waste, because they had been the things that were tricky that they found difficult to turn into useful products. They would burn them, like incinerate them, and they would use that heat to generate power and feed back into the power grid. And that's way back, like 90s, 80s. That's way back.
Yeah, but like
so they have been doing that.
Like for African countries, we're in a better position now. Like we kind of learn from what other countries have done.
Have already, true. Like we're not going to be groundbreaking.
More like you skip the parts where instead of you going nuclear, you can kind of go green with the latest technology. Because it's harder for someone to convert an old power plant into a green power plant. Or it's more expensive if you actually just start from scratch with a green power plant. It's cheaper at least.
Yeah. So
like what Econ is doing, like with the solar panels and electrifying West and Central Africa.
Because I feel like it will have to take an individual instead of a group or a government.
Yeah.
Like a ruling government. And maybe if the Green Party came into power, maybe we might have. But we all know the Green stands for. Yeah, we all know what the Green stands for. It's not for. It's not for sustainable development. So. No, I know. I know they are all about that, but like I just say that as a joke, not to offend them, but it's true they have great ideas. They do have great ideas.
To spark one of them. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, Study. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, sir.
Okay.